Sorry guys, we got something really cool to check out here today. This is the Scout LT from Simpleshot. We're gonna go out. We're gonna set this guy up for the first time. We're gonna go on out to a location somewhere, and we're gonna set up these targets, which I received also on the same time. Never used them before. I just put them onto this string, and we'll see how it goes. They go from about let's see the size here. We're looking at approximately 2.5 inches. It's a little bit less, all the way down to, or maybe it's in centimeters. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it goes from 6 centimeters, which is just under 2.5 inches, all the way down to a real cool 2 centimeters. Now this is a tiny little guy, very close to the same size as my thumbnail. So we'll see if we can hit those later on. But first things first, I'm going to bring you in close. We're going to take a look at this this slingshot. We're going to set it up. Then we're going to head on out there, and we're going to see if we can hit some of those. See if we can hit one of these. I don't know if they call them spinners, but if any of you guys have ever taken any martial arts, like Taekwondo or karate, they used to have these things called the clappers, and they were these little paddles you'd put your foot up, and when you kicked them, they'd slap together and make a big clap noise. But anyway, that said, let's get this thing open and take a look what comes inside of a package when you pick up the Scout LT. Sorry guys, when you receive your package for Simpleshot, this is what it's going to come into. You'll get this nice thick durable plastic bag, and you'll open it up, and here's the slingshot. This is what it looks like. We get one of these UV protected Ziploc bags for the bands. There's our band right there. Looks pretty good. Set up pretty nicely. Nice looking pouch. And that looks pretty good. So put that aside. We will get a lanyard. An owner's manual. And a warning card. Put those aside. And then you get a little Ziploc bag full of your bits and pieces. Now, just to be completely clear, this is the scales for the handle. You can shoot with or without them if you want. I'm going to shoot with it. This little guy here, this is like a little weight to put inside the handle. I'm going to put it in. It does not come with it. You have to buy that separately, but it should be pretty cool. We've got our quick little connectors just to attach the attach it to the slingshot, and then we have our screw for the scales, and we have our 2 big adjuster screws for the clamps. So I tend to like to shoot over the top. I've never shot through the forks before, so I'm going to set this guy up as an over the top guy, and then we'll take it outside, just shoot it and see how it goes. So let's get to work. Alright, so we'll get started on putting the handle together. We'll find a thinner piece and put it on the target side of the slingshot, and then we'll add in the weight. Then we'll grab the palm swell side, which is a slightly thicker of the two, and we'll just put the screw in and screw it in with a Phillips screwdriver. And once it's seated nice and proper, I gave it a nice gentle little shake just to see if that little weight would rattle around on the inside, and it made no noise at all. So the handle is ready. Alright, so now the handle's done. We will go on to the clips, the quick clips. We'll attach those to the frame, and then once we got them screwed on, finger tight, about 3/4 of the way, we'll be ready to add the bands. With that little bit of play that we left in there, makes it easy to add the bands in. Then you just push on the clip and then screw in the bolt, and you're pretty much done for the first side. So alright, once we get the first one done, we've tested the band to make sure it's nice and tight. It's not going to slip out on us. We just follow the band around, make sure that we got the right alignment, and the pouch is going to be seated in the right position. Then we slide that thing in under the clip, in between the frame and the clip, and then put our thumb on the back, make it nice and tight. And sometimes it could be a little fiddly, but once you get it, you know you're set. Put your thumb on the back, add the pressure, and then slowly tighten up that little screw to make sure that band doesn't slip. Now after you've tightened up those screws with some kind of screwdriver or a coin or something, we'll move on to the lanyard. Super simple. Slide it through the hole, tie an overhand knot, and then just cinch it down tight. And you're pretty much done. That's about it. There you go. Make sure it fits your hand. And then you're in business. So now that we got it set up, let's see how she shoots. Well, so now we got it set up. I don't know what the exact weight is, especially with the little weight in the handle. I don't know. I don't even know if it would be better with the handle or not, or with the scales or whatnot. But that'll be all part of the exploring of the Scout. When we get outside, we start shooting around, practicing our aim, and we'll see how it shoots. And we can, you know, for comfort wise, we could take off the scales, we could put back on the scales, we can remove the weight, we could add the weight, and there might even be room for a second weight in there, to be honest. But that'll be all up to us as we practice. So there you have it, guys. There's a quick look and quick setup on how to set up this guy. Now we're gonna go ahead and shoot these guys. Now I've never shot at anything this small at 10 paces. I always shot at some cans. Cans are a fun target to make a lot of noise when you whack them with a steel ball, but these guys should be fun too. So let's get on out there and wrap this up and get outside and have some fun. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Sorry guys, now that you've seen the tabletop view and the setup of the Scout LT, let's pull her out, set up some targets, and see how it goes. Now before you guys go and start busting my balls, I just want to say one thing. First things first, I've never shot bands from Simpleshot before, and I've never shot the Scout LT before, and I've never shot flippers before. So please don't be too brutal on me. Let's get it set up. We'll walk back 10 paces and see if we can actually hit anything with it. So let me get into my bag, I'll pull it out, and we'll take a look. All right, now I tend to keep all my Slingshot goodies inside of this Hidden Woodsman fire bag. It's actually set up for a fire kit, but I like to keep all my Slingshot stuff in here. This works just fine. I'll show you what I got so far. So inside here, I've got all my my brand new flippers that I haven't tried yet. I'll stick those on the ground for now. I have a big pouch of clay ammo that we're going to be using today to hit these things. These are much cheaper, better for the environment, and I don't want to lose all my bearings because they're expensive. I've also got a extra Slingshot band in case something goes wrong. I have my Scout LT all set up. They'll be set up downstairs on the table. I can't wait to shoot this. Hopefully it goes pretty nice. It may be a disaster. And actually I have a second Slingshot in here. This is an Axiom Ocularis from Simpleshot also. That'll be done in another video. There's a few things I want to talk about this guy, and I have shot it a little bit already so far, but we'll get into that in another day. Sorry guys, just in case anybody wants to ask, I set these little flippers up on the string, tying one knot on each side of the loop to make sure it stays in position, and then I tie a taut line hitch you know, on each end, and it makes it very easy to center it and align it wherever you decide to hang it, and it makes it easy for it to pack. Great little setup. Alright, here they all are set up, and now it's time to fire away and start making these guys make some noise. Should be fun. Alright, so here we are. We got them all set up. I've actually used some can't remember, some kind of Kevlar rope in the inside. Hopefully it'll take it just in case I actually hit the string at all. These flippers should hit, and they should make a decent amount of noise when they hit, so we should hear them pretty good. Again, these are a much smaller target than I'm used to, so but we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I'm gonna pace out 10 paces, probably over there in between those two trees, and then we'll know for sure where we're at. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry guys, right over here where that tree is that my backpack is hanging off, that's actually exactly 10 paces, so we should be good to go from there. Now I don't know how these bands are going to be in this kind of temperature. We are somewhere around 4 degrees or 3 degrees Celsius, so hopefully they're not going to be too sluggish too sluggish with the cold, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna line up with this tree right here, and we're gonna start firing off some shots, and hopefully we'll be able to hit one of those targets and I don't embarrass myself. So let's have a quick look. Make sure we're rolling here so I don't, okay. No freaking way. There we go. First shot, first kill. So we got the big one. First shot. Let's see if we can get that smaller one again. So we'll take one size down, see if we can get that guy. Oh, just to the right of it, the left of it, I mean. All right, there's 2 out of 3 shots. That's pretty good. So let's go one size smaller, see if we can hit that guy. I'm kind of amazed, considering this is the first time I've ever shot this thing. The accuracy is great. I'll show you what I'm doing to aim with it, and hopefully I'll be able to get a decent video, a decent shot of it on camera. But so far, out of the box, to pick this thing up and just start shooting and being pretty decently accurate with it, apparently, is pretty decent. And we are at about 10 paces, so about 32 feet. Let's try that other smaller guy right there, if you can see him. That's the last one on the left. Oh, I just missed it. That was a little tougher. Go. So we got 2 left. Both of them get smaller. Let's see how that goes. I don't know if this is going to be this is even going to be possible, but we'll see. All right. That was terrible. Getting closer. There we go. We got 1 left. Sorry guys, while we're letting the hand relax a little bit and loosen up, I just want to talk a little bit about this Slingshot. Now, as you saw in the basement when we were talking earlier on, this guy is actually able to shoot over the top and through the forks. Over the top is the only way I've ever shot a Slingshot before. The through the forks thing, I think we're gonna have to try that and see how it works out. I just don't know if it's gonna be that great, but I do like the aiming reference of over the top. Now, I'm gonna see if I can bring you in close or a little bit and show you how I have been aiming this thing, and we'll see how it goes. But the through the forks thing, we're gonna have to try on another day, and we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of top shooters out there that like to shoot over the through the forks, and there's a lot of guys that like over the top. The one thing I do like about through the over the top and having these squared posts or squared forks is that you got a pretty good aiming reference. Now I'll see if I can make this make you see how I aim. I mean, obviously you have to have a good anchor point. You got to keep your elbow high to make sure your thumb and your pouch stays even, right? So when you're pulling this back, I don't want to pull it back too much right now because my hand's a little tired, but keep your elbow up high, and when you got your fork straight out, these aren't in any kind of weird direction, it's nice and parallel. You keep your fork flat, have your anchor rest, so when you're looking down the forks you see nothing but this nice stretch and this nice straight line for you to aim at. Actually, the hand's feeling pretty good, so maybe we can see if we can get that little guy in the end. It's really small though. It's like about the size of my thumbnail. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll do a little comparison in a minute. Actually, let's go do it now. All right. If you can see this guy right beside my thumb, I actually think my thumb is bigger than this guy, and at 10 paces, a 2 centimeter spinner, it's a little bit tough to hit for a new guy like me, but let's get it. Sorry guys, let's see if we can get that little guy in 10 shots. Here we go. Terrible shot. Shots! Guys, I gotta say, I'm really stoked about this. I mean, yes, I only hit it once, but I hit it once in 3 shots. It took me 3 shots to get it. This slingshot is just phenomenal. There's a lot of things I like about it. Now, I know a lot of you guys have seen that Top Archery slingshot. I know some people said, oh, it's Chinese junk, and other people say, I'm going to tell you, that was my favorite slingshot for the longest time. I still have it. It's still holding up. It's still accurate as hell. This thing is right up there with that. I even find it a little bit more comfortable. It fits in my hand nicely. It pulls back. Pulls back comfortably. The bands are a good power. They're nice and well made. The pouch is super comfortable on your fingers. The setup of it is really easy. I mean, you could use a coin, you could use a screwdriver, you don't need any fancy tools, no Torx, no Allen keys, nothing. You could use a 10-cent piece to open this guy up if you want to. Anything you're carrying in your pocket will work. I happen to be a bit of a freak, and I carry all kinds of crap in my thing, with my Leatherman and my tools and my pocket knife and my keys and blah, blah, blah. But this thing is badass. If you are looking for a slingshot, out of the box, it's going to make you it's pretty accurate. Scout LT all day, guys. Scout LT all day. This thing is awesome. I love it. I've never shot targets that size before, and let's face it, I've been shooting slingshots off and on for the last 2 years. I haven't shot slingshots since, I don't know, since summer, since before the snow, and I decided just to start taking these guys out and start shooting it. We were having fun in the backyard recently, probably about a month and a half ago, or a month ago, and we were just shooting cans out in the backyard and flopping them across the snow until they reached the fence, and we go back and get it and drop it off at 10 paces and start hitting them again, Logan and I. But Scout LT, again, all day. If you're going to spend money on a slingshot that's going to be accurate and ready to go, the Scout LT. I can't say it again. This thing is badass. And just to just to make sure that you guys understand, I don't know anybody from Simpleshot. Simpleshot did not send me this. I bought this with my own money. I got it here. This thing is the bomb. I love it. This is a great slingshot. Now, since we ran the little gauntlet on my little setup there, we're just gonna start shooting and have some fun. I'll give you a couple of angles, and then maybe we'll get some lunch going because I'm getting a little hungry. So let's get to it. That's a hit, by the way. So was that one. Let's change this angle up so you guys don't get too bored. All right, we're gonna try a couple more shots for that tiny little one, and then we're gonna cook some lunch because I'm getting hungry. Go. So I gotta tell you guys, right out of the box, first time using this thing, this is an absolute monster, and I'm sure with a little bit more practice with this thing, I'm gonna be absolutely lethal with it, and I'm just a beginner. So you could imagine, you know, something like this in Fowler's hands, or Nathan Masters, or many other, or that guy Chris from Catapult Carnage. That guy would be knocking the balls off a fly at 20 meters with this thing. So anyway, just my thoughts on the Scout LT. This thing is badass. Now it is time for lunch. I'm hungry, so let's eat. This food isn't quite ready yet, but I'm starving and I gotta get out of here, and the sun's on its way down. The slingshot was a total win. The lunch was a total fail. But the sun's going down, and it's time for me to get on out of here. But I hope you liked that quick look at the Simpleshot Scout LT. It is a great slingshot, especially for a beginner like me, or if I can shoot it that well, imagine what it could do inside of skilled hands. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. You guys get out and explore, and I'll see you on the shooting range. Take care. Well, shooting this video was a lot of fun. And if you're just getting into slingshots like I am, then I encourage you to watch these two videos. One of them is of a top archery slingshot, and the other one is how to tune up your bands. Man, this was a great day. You guys get out and explore. I'll see you in the next one. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe.